My name is Dana Gain, and today we're talking about whether or not you are price confused. 3 strategies sellers are using right now. Just when home buyers were adjusting to the idea of underpriced homes selling to multiple offers and preparing accordingly, the landscape has shifted once again. Rising interest rates have already started to calm the real estate market. We've seen that. This is directly affecting how sellers are pricing their homes. Let's take a look at the 3 most common approaches being used right now by home sellers. Strategy 1: pandemic pricing. We've used the term pandemic pricing because it's the method most current house hunters are already familiar with. It started in the late spring of 2020 as the effects of the pandemic were underway, and it continues today. This strategy has the seller listing their home for sale at a price well below market value. They set an offer date, and the seller waits for the bids to arrive at the scheduled time. The intense competition from the multiple offer environment pushes the sale price higher, resulting in a final sale price that is tens or even hundreds of thousands over asking price. Offers in this environment are typically clean, which means there are no conditions standing between the accepted offer and a firm sale. They're one and the same. Buyers are encouraged to secure draft deposits in advance of offer date so they can demonstrate their absolute 100% commitment to buying the home. This is the most common strategy we've seen in the hot sellers market of the past 2 years. It's been employed steadily in most market segments, including detached, semi, and townhouse, and starting around November 2021, the condo apartment segment too. Strategy 2: the mask is off pricing. We're calling this the mask is off for 2 reasons. One, because it seems to have started at about the same time we removed the mask wearing mandate. And 2, because it has a seller pricing their home at very close to market value. For those that remember how sellers were pricing their homes before the pandemic, you will recall a listing price that was within $10,000 or $20,000 of the price a seller expected to receive for their home. This is a more comfortable environment for home buyers. One could shop online in a price range that fit the budget, and there were very few surprises. Sometimes homes would sell for a bit less than asking price, sometimes a little bit more, and occasionally it would actually sell for the sticker price. What's important to note is the variations in this scenario were very small, depending on the condition of the property and the motivation of the buyer. A $900,000 home in Milton could be listed for $899 and sell for anywhere between $875 and $920. Today, that methodology is finding its way back into the market. In late February and early March of this year, home sellers began bucking the pandemic trend, opting instead to list their property at or around estimated market value. The result? By March of this year, the same house in Guelph with a market value of, let's say, $1.4 million were listed at 2 very different price ranges. One pandemic pricing for $1099 with a set offer date, and another at $1.399 by a seller who would review offers at any time, no offer date. And if that were not already confusing enough, a 3rd strategy has appeared. Strategy 3: hybrid pricing. This is the latest pricing iteration that seems to have started just in the past few weeks. It's a hybrid of the first and second pricing model. But first, the rationale. Sellers still want to have buyers fighting over their home. Those that are particularly close to market trends realize that the rise in interest rates may create headwinds for the pandemic pricing approach, or underpricing. Maybe that would be too aggressive to underprice by so much when interest rates are climbing and buying power, they think, is falling. Also, sellers don't want to scare off perfectly qualified buyers. At the same time, these sellers are not quite ready to open the kimono and advertise what they expect to receive for their home by listing it at market value. The solution, therefore, is to price the home under market value and accept offers anytime. In this way, sellers don't signal to the marketplace that they're way underpriced by holding offers back, but the underpricing in this model is not as aggressive as with pandemic pricing, so it still appears to a home buyer to be priced close to market value. You'll know you're dealing with this scenario because the home is typically just a little bit too perfect for that price point. What happens next? Buyers rush to put in an offer on the home because it's such a good deal. Of course, it's still underpriced, and so this creates an atmosphere of competition for the home, which is ideal for the home seller. The home also tends to sell really quickly, often in 1 or 2 days, and with few, if any, conditions. In effect, you've created the foundation that will lead to multiple offers, but without the aggressive underpricing and offer date. So what do buyers need to know? First of all, in all 3 pricing approaches, the home is selling at market value. What is market value? It's defined as the price a reasonable buyer would pay for an identical property. In short, market value equals what a reasonable buyer would pay. This can be determined by reviewing the recent sold price of similar homes in the neighborhood. So regardless of the strategy a seller uses, the home in Guelph from our example will likely sell for $1.4 million if that is what similar homes are selling for in that neighborhood. It might sell a little faster or slower depending on a seller's pricing strategy, but the end result is likely to be similar. However, for home buyers, it certainly makes for confusing shopping. It may be difficult to tell whether the home you like is priced high, priced low, or somewhere in between. The good news is your realtor can do the research for you so you understand the likely sale price of the home before you ever go and take a look at it. If you haven't yet decided who you're working with in your home sale or purchase, of course, you can get in touch with me today. My name is Dana Gain, and I'm here for all your real estate needs. If you have any questions about what you've seen here in the video, please send me an email to info@danagain.com. Remember to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.